And joining us now on Long Tossin is the Marlins' number one prospect. It is 19-year-old right-hander Noble Meyer, who is currently in High A Beloit doing his thing. But today we are fired up to share with our audience that Noble and Thomas White are off to the 2024 All-Star Futures Game at Globe Life Field in Arlington on July 13th. Noble, congratulations, man. What does it mean, and how did you figure it out?
This is awesome. I got an email not too long ago saying that I was going. But it's kind of crazy because I went to the draft last year and I got a chance to watch the Futures game, including fellow Jesuit high school alum Mick Abel throw. So that was really cool. And to think that I'm going to be playing in that this year is a little bit surreal.
How many big league fields have you pitched on, Noble?
Let's see, Dodger Stadium, Chase Stadium, Tropicana, and then this will be the fourth, I think.
It's a big stage, man. Are you pumped about
Yeah,
it? Or is it surreal that you're all of a sudden this quick, not even a year removed in the futures game and climbing the ranks within the organization?
yeah, it seems crazy. Like this time last year, I was just graduating high school, and yeah, now I'm in the futures game.
Where does this rank as far as accomplishments for you, man?
I mean, it's probably got to be right behind getting drafted. Like it's way up there. I mean, to be considered for this game is quite an honor.
Me and Kyle were joking. The two managers for this were Adrian Beltre and Michael Young. Were you alive for when they were playing? Those guys were great.
I'm a big Adrian Beltre fan, mainly because he was a Mariner for a little short stint, and I got a picture with them outside the
Oh, that's awesome.
hotel at the 2022 All Star game because we had an event
Oh,
there for a high school thing. But yeah, big fan of Adrian Beltre.
hey, just don't touch his head. You know that, right? Don't touch his head. He gets very angry, Noble. Hey, I guess I have a couple of questions for you, Noble, but let's start here. It's not easy for somebody coming out of high school to have this kind of pressure, which you didn't ask for, but you are one of the best in the business coming out of the draft, and you're going to get the pressure as somebody that needs to get this organization back to where they want to get to. How has life changed for you in the last year, going from a high school graduate to now flying through the ranks of a professional baseball organization?
I mean, it's incredible. High school ball is a lot different than professional baseball, so that's obviously a huge change there. But just the life around it, being like in an apartment, and your only goal and only focus is just playing baseball, getting stronger, eating right, versus high school where like I gotta take classes, I have to do normal high schooler things. Um, that's been a really big change. And then as far as like the pressure of like being a prospect in the Marlins organization, that's also like I don't know. It's I wouldn't say it's tough to deal with because it's I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm just playing baseball and just going out there and giving them hell. But it's definitely very. It's something that I like. I think about. It's in the back of my mind.
Do you embrace that kind of stuff? I mean, I can't imagine being like a number one prospect. Is it something where you don't want to sort of think about it as much or as deeply, or you kind of relish in it?
Yeah, absolutely embrace it. I think it's quite an honor to be considered like one of the top prospects. Um, yeah,
What is the biggest, sorry, Kyle, what is the
Oh, yeah.
biggest glaring difference you feel from your first year of pro ball to your second, whether that is mental or just physically on the mound?
um, I would say last year was a lot of like just kind of get a feel of how professional baseball is, and this year is like go out, give everything you got, like stay healthy, like you're going through a full season, like just do what you can do. Um, and it's been a lot more challenging because last year I was limited to like I think it was 40 pitches. I think my longest outing was 2 2/3. Where this year, like we're allowed 5 innings, we get 80 pitches. So um, yeah, that's definitely a big difference there because I've already racked up, I think, close to 45 innings. I'm
Mhm.
not sure the exact number, but it might be a little more than that. Where we're not even, or we just passed the halfway point, and last year I threw 70 innings total, and So I'm on pace to go a lot farther than that.
I think last year you were drafted. You made a couple of starts in the complex league, and then they had you make a couple off maybe a few starts with Jupiter. This season, you make 8 starts with Jupiter, and then you get a promotion to Beloit. Did not that you have been through this before, obviously, Noel. Did that surprise you? Are you thrilled that you have already been bumped up to now high A? And I mean, conceivably, the next step would be double A. I'm not suggesting that's happening anytime soon, but obviously this is happening quick for you. Is that at all surprised you?
I would say it is a little bit surprising, but I mean, I have high expectations for myself. I want to try and push myself, and I want the organization to push me, just kind of force me to be better. So I mean, it's something I'm embracing. So it's not like coming as a shock, or it's not like catching me off guard. But yeah, I mean, I'm all for it.
I
Is
would say, oh, go ahead, Stephen. Go
no,
ahead.
no, go ahead, Kyle. I'll go after
It's interesting because everybody that is unbelievable in high school then goes to professional ball, and all of a sudden it feels like you're playing on an all-star team every day. And there are kids from literally all over the world. Can you talk to me a little bit, Noble, about the leap to professional baseball? Now that you've gotten yourself to the Beloit, do you feel I guess the level of competition increased now with every step of the way, going from the complex league to Jupiter to Beloit? Can you kind of talk to me about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, complex league. It's like just a lot of youth. Some, for lack of better words, immature at bats, where there's a lot of like swings and misses and a lot of chased pitches. Low A got a little better. It was just more, I guess, organized, I would say. And then high A, I'm starting to see the very like the mature at bats where they're taking good pitches and they're getting their pitch and like finding barrel a lot more. Uh, Both sides, like when I'm pitching and when we're like us as a team are hitting. Um, and I can only imagine that double A is like a step farther than that.
Noble, we had talked to one of your teammates, Thomas White. Just what does it mean for you two to not only both now be promoted together, but now go to the All-Star Futures game together?
Yeah, I mean that's going to be awesome. We got to spend a lot of time bonding on our road trip up here to Beloit. We drove together in my car, long 20 hours. But I mean, super excited for him. This is going to be really fun. I mean, he's got big league stuff. Like I've never been, I've never doubted that he's going to be a big leaguer at some point. Um, he's so fun to watch pitch at least once a week. It's he's going to dominate.
Is there a little bit of we had talked to him 2 weeks ago about sort of this dream that you guys have together of going up together? Is that something that you guys have discussed before?
Oh yeah. I mean, I doubt the organization will separate us at any point unless one of us is doing way better than the other, which I mean, it's possible, but I think they're going to keep us together at every level and potentially even like debut within the same week. At some point in our career, that'd be really cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a good friend to have, keeping us on the same level throughout the years. It's going to be fun.
Can you peel back the curtain a little bit for me, Noble? Like when you as a high prospect, obviously here, top 100 prospect, whatever you'd like to say, have you had conversations with the organization of, okay, this is where we see you this year. Next year, we'd like to see you put together 120 innings and 90 pitches a game. Is that how this goes, or is this very much Noble? You're getting promoted to high A Beloit. We're going to keep an eye on you. You've got great people. They're going to work with you, and we'll touch base down the road. How does this go for a top prospect?
It's definitely more of the latter there.
Yeah.
Kind of like Thomas and I kind of knew that we were both throwing really well in Jupiter. Um, like he had a great May, I had a great May, and then we both get the call up, and they kind of just, hey, you're going up to Beloit. You guys are going to do great. That was really it. Left it at that. Um, can't really tell how long I'm going to be here. Hopefully, get moved up to double A before the end of the year, but that's just my hopes. Ultimately, it's up to them. But yeah,
You said that. Are you a goal setter? Have you laid out in your own mind that After 2025, my expectation is I'm either going to have an entirety of a full season in AA and then sniff AAA and then 2 years. Because again, the organization will be very, very cautious. You are quite literally still physically maturing and growing, and that's totally understandable. They're going to have your best interest in mind, especially when it comes to health. But do you have a goal in your mind when you'd like to be in Miami in the major leagues?
I mean, I kind of have year by year goals where,
Okay.
like, end of this year, I want to spend at least like some time in Double A, or like play in Double A at some point. And then next year, if all goes perfectly, hopefully debut. But I mean,
Wow, that's
hopefully
awesome, man.
that might be a little bit unrealistic. But I mean, higher goals, like I said earlier, I have pretty high expectations for myself. So, I mean, if I can get there, great. If not, totally understand. But yeah.
Noble, we had talked to Joe Mack last week about some of the organizational changes as far as analytics, and he had talked about, just from a hitter's perspective, this diamond kinetic swing score. I was curious, just what are the new aspects of maybe how this group is attacking your development?
Yeah, just recently we got access to heat maps for each batter on the other team. I don't know how new that is. From what I remember, I think we had access to that last year, and I think it's kind of like a halfway point in the season. They start to collect all the data. Um, but I do really like those. Shows us where to attack each hitter, and for someone like myself who really likes to kind of dive into that like strategy aspect of baseball, that's something I look at a lot.
Did it?
Um,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Noble.
uh, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, finish.
I,
Oh,
I got
you're
nothing
good.
else. Yeah.
Any particular arms in the organization, maybe during spring training, that big league arms that have taken you under their wing, given you some solid advice?
Max definitely gave me some solid advice last year, and while he was rehabbing and I was out in the complex, I got to talk to him a fair amount. Um, a name that did get to talk to me a lot last year too was Archie Bradley. Amazing guy. He taught me a lot. But as far as this year, I got a brief conversation with Lazardo and Puck while they were out rehabbing with Jupiter. Um, yeah.
I think it would surprise some people that a lot of young players don't. You are obviously drafted here by the Miami Marlins. Do you follow them closely, or is it very tough to do when you guys are playing every night? Do you find that you guys like keep an eye on the big league team, or how does that go for prospects?
I'll kind of keep up with the news. Like I'll see Jazz. It gets like it goes 2 for 4 with like a double and a home run like every other night. It feels like, but I'll sometimes keep track of the like outings from each pitcher. A lot of it's focused on like the guys I've played with. Like if one of our teammates gets called up to Double A, for example, Kate Gibson. Got to watch a lot of his start on the road back Sunday afternoon. So that was pretty cool.
Now, if oh my goodness, I just lost my train of thought, Noble, and I thought I just had an unbelievable question. What the heck was I going to ask? Go ahead, Steve. Steven, if you had something, I was just thinking about
Yeah,
something
yeah.
completely
Go
lost.
ahead, try to think of it, Kyle. Just some of the, I would say, differences with single A Jupiter to high A. What have some of been those challenges been like?
Um, I mean, like I said earlier, with the more mature at bats, that's been tough. I got to get used to the cold weather again, or colder and like drier weather. Um, I mean, it's like 75 out today, so it's not like it's cold, but it's no Jupiter where it's 90 with like 60% humidity. Um, yeah, the allergies were pretty tough up here. I had to get used to
Colin,
that.
the
Yeah,
Colin.
Cottonwood was getting me for the first week. But yeah, as far as competition, I really noticed the difference in the pitching and the hitting is just slightly more mature. It's not like a crazy leap. Like it's like one level. It's not like high A going into the straight into the majors. But there's definitely there is a difference.
Okay, I'm back. You mentioned Archie Bradley's name and some other guys that you keep an eye on. I remember chatting with you last season after you were drafted, Stephen. I think you and I both did something with Noble.
Yeah,
I,
we
I,
sat
I,
down with
do-
him.
I don't remember if you told us this, but as you watch other pitchers in baseball, are you modeling your game after anybody? Not really who your hero was growing up, but is there somebody you feel like you profile very closely to that, you do keep an eye on their starts and kind of watch what they're doing, maybe at the big league level?
The two guys that I would say I do are Charlie Morton and Jacob deGrom, kind of a blend between the two. I don't know if
I
I have
heard
to
they're
pick one.
pretty good. Yeah.
They they're
Yeah.
pretty solid. Yeah. I don't know if it actually like pans out where I like look like a blend of the two, but two guys I try to like take pieces from.
What pieces, if you don't mind me asking?
Um, deGrom's like fluidity and his like flexibility down the mound, his ability to like get into positions super efficiently, and just Morton's ability to pitch and spin breaking balls and just to wipe out off speed. I think that's kind of like pretty similar to what I have.
Now, in today's day and age, do you find yourself with your nose in your computer, like analytically? Are you very analytically driven? Or, I mean, you have a lot of raw talent. I would imagine, Noble, you could get out there and go 5 innings and allow 2 runs or less every fifth, sixth, seventh day, whatever you. But do you really embrace at your age? A lot of young players really embrace analytics. Where do you stand?
I'm very analytical. I think that was something that actually boosted my draft stock a little bit. Is I have a
Hmm.
pretty good understanding of like all the analytics as far as like approach angle, spin efficiency, like spin axis, stuff like that. And yeah, I like every bullpen I have. Like I like to throw a pitch, look at the numbers, see like what I felt compared to what like the result was. Um, but I use that a lot to kind of develop each pitch with pitch design. But I mean, ultimately, the command comes first. Like I want outside fastball. Here's outside fastball. I want inside fastball. Here's inside fastball. So that comes first, but analytics are, I would say, for the second.
So forgive me for asking this then. When it comes game time, and I'm very I guess I just don't understand this part of it. Do you use analytics during the game, or when it's your turn to pitch, you are hyper focused on the game plan and not so much how it's coming out of your hand and what might be transpiring in between half innings when you're in the dugout?
Ultimately, I'm focused on the game plan. There's like times where I can feel like, oh, my fastball's coming off a bit weirdly. I'm curious how that's like looking, and we have the numbers in the dugout. But ultimately,
Oh.
when I'm just on the mound, I'm thinking I'm going to compete. Here's my best stuff. I don't care how it moves. I'm just going to throw that out there, and like good luck. So that's kind of the whole game plan there.
No, well, I got two more, and we'll let you go, or Kyle will finish up with you. Just who was your first call after you got the call that you were headed to Arlington?
My parents, they were the first to know. They've been talking about it a lot, hoping that I'd go there, and yeah, I gotta let them know. So that was really cool.
I think I'm good, guys.
Yeah, I the only thing, why do people call you Noble when your first name's John?
So John was my uncle's name on my dad's side and my grandpa's name on my mom's side, but
Hmm.
my parents they wanted something a little like more original than that, so they went with Noble as the middle name, and they just decided to call me that my whole life.
Wait,
Awesome.
Noble, one more. Are you a video game guy? Are you playing with yourself in MLB The Show? Are you in the show yet? What's happening?
I have been playing a lot of MLB the Show, yeah.
Are you out of the minor
Um,
leagues yet? Are you in the show?
in the franchise, yeah, I actually made a hitter and faced myself and wrote to the show.
Nice. How'd you do?
I ended up being like the number three prospect, but I did get traded to the Pirates. That was an issue.
Shoot. All right. I'll call somebody. We'll see if we can get you back home, man.
Yeah. No, but we really appreciate you, Jordan Long Toss, man. Congratulations. We're so excited for you and Thomas. Again, guys, make sure to check out the MLB All-Star Futures game in Arlington on July 13th. Noble, thank you again, man. Keep killing it. And I'm sure we'll hear from you or have you on sooner than later.
Thank you.
Thanks, Noble.